So in the 22nd chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, almost at the end of the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus has yet another parable about the kingdom of heaven. And in this one, he says, the kingdom of heaven can be compared to a king who gives a wedding banquet for his son. Now, the parable goes on and talks about how the original invited guests can't come to the banquet or won't come to the banquet, and so the king invites everybody out on the street. It says the good and the bad, and has them all come into the banquet. On Sunday, we're going to explore both the personal, spiritual, and the social, ethical implications of that parable about welcome and inclusion. But today, right now, I want to talk about a piece of the parable I'm not going to discuss at length on Sunday, and that's this little appended ending to the parable that some people say is actually a second parable tacked on to the first one. And in this ending to this parable, it says that the king spots one guy in the whole banquet who isn't wearing his wedding garment. King goes up to the guy and he says, "Friend, I see you're not wearing a wedding garment." It says the man is speechless, and so the king instructs his servants to take this man and to throw him, it says, into the outer darkness, and I love this part, where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. This is a very dramatic parable, almost hyperbolic parable from beginning to end, but that part at the end is particularly confusing. Why should this man who just moments ago was standing out on the street, apparently minding his own business, not planning on going to a wedding banquet, why should he have a wedding garment? Why is he in trouble for not having one on? It has helped me in my understanding of this parable to note that everybody else in the banquet is wearing a wedding garment. So all the other people who were recruited from the highways and byways, they all have one on, despite the fact that they weren't planning on going either. So it does suggest that the king was handing out wedding garments to everybody. So what this guy is, he's like the guy who shows up at a 5-year-old's birthday party, and even though everybody else is playing games and down on the floor pinning tail to the donkey, he's the guy who stands off to the side and won't put the funny little birthday hat on because it would mess up his hair and make him look stupid. This is the guy who, even though he's there, isn't all in. So there's some part of us, there's the many, many parts of us, the good and the bad, that are invited into God's abundance. But there is a part of us that is cast out, that part of us that can't go in. The part of us that wants to stay on the side, which raises a question. What garment has God given to me that I'm refusing to wear? What blessing has God offered me that I'm refusing to enjoy? What part of me stands out at the edge? I hope you'll come on Sunday. Join us on Zoom. Come all in. That's where I'll be. See you Sunday.